No, huh?
Yes? Yes, perfect. Welcome, everybody. Before we start our session on Google Code University, I would like to show you a quiz that we have. So a lot of people come and ask about how do interviews at Google look like? How should I get in? What kind of questions are we asked? So we prepared a small quiz in different fields. So you have software engineering, test engineering, system administration, product management, and a fun quiz called the Google Super User Quiz. You can take the quiz actually and to know how you measure up against the kind of questions are asked at Google interviews. And the link is very easy. It's bit.ly/GJordan quiz. bit.ly/GJordan quiz. I will take a look at the results, at your answers, and at the end of the day, if we have some winners, then maybe we can give out some prizes. Okay? Great. So, our topic for today, Google Code University. Okay. So, I have a slight problem here. Is anybody familiar with Google Code University? Okay, not a lot of people. So Google Code University is like an online portal, essential for several courses that you can find on different topics. So you have topics on programming languages, web programming, web security, tons of things. And it's actually a very exciting place because you do not only find resources there, but you can actually discuss with people that are using these resources. And let me just give you a guide through the page and then we can have a small exercise. So, we have tutorials and introductions. You have to understand that for tutorials, actually, we have a complete tutorial. That means with the explanation, with exercises that you can take, and with links to things. And one of the actually most viewed courses, if you can take a look here, wow, nice view. So one of our most popular courses are on Python. Any Python programmers in the room? Okay, great. So here's the Google Python class. And actually, you will find here ways to set up your machine to be able to program in Python. You will find actually tutorials, introduction on different topics. And the nice thing also, you will find videos. Are you plugged into something?
Google's NGDU group, which deals with sort of technical training and engineering. And I also have a job at Stanford where I work as a lecturer.
This is, for example, one of the
So
classes that were given by Googlers on Python.
So this class
So
is
you
about
find all the
just
material that you
basic,
need in addition to the
normal
videos
Python.
for the course
And
on
Python
this
is sort of,
portal.
it's a nice, friendly language. You can actually learn a lot of Python in 2 days. So that's
Okay. And then there's also some sort of a forum where you can actually talk and discuss with people who are also taking courses on Python or actually posting courses on Python. So you can actually communicate with those. You will actually find a huge variety of other discussion forums. Okay. Where's the content? Yes. So you will find a general discussion forum for the Google Code University. You'll have one dedicated for Python, web security, Android. You will find tons of resources where you can actually talk with people, post your problems, and if you find if you have a question for the person who posted the course, you can actually post it there, and they will get back to you. They will reply to you. And if you already took a course or prepared a course that was good, you can actually submit it. So you have to just prepare it in a specific form, and then you can submit it on Google Code University for people worldwide to make use of it. Okay. For some courses, also, you will find even the presentation slides, whether in PowerPoint or Keynote or even PDF, to use in your class. So everything posted on this website, on this portal, is actually useful for you if you're giving the class yourself or if you're teaching, if you're getting tutored yourself. And we have also a nice feature, which is curriculum search. So let's say I'm looking up something, I don't know, on complexity. Okay, so you get from cross curriculum search from all the different curricula that are posted there, results that talk about the topic of your search. Okay, so this is pretty much the website. I really urge you to go and take a look at it. The link is very easy. It's code.google.com/edu. Okay, so does anybody have a question about Google Code University? I know it was a very brief presentation, so maybe it's time for some supporting material. So it's always useful to know like websites where you can test your abilities, because here on Google Code, you will find even snippets of code that you can copy and paste in your IDE and actually run them and modify them and work on them. But it would also be nice to have a place where you can live write code and test it. So there is a very nice resource that I would like also to share with you. It's called CodingBat. Anybody heard about CodingBat? Great. So yes, CodingBat is a very nice place where you can have small exercises to warm you up. You can actually test, write the code, run it live, and then test your results against the actual solution. So since the session has been very short, I'm going to take like a very small exercise, like this one. It's a Java exercise. Do we have any Java people in the room? Oh, great. Perfect. So I'm going to let you think about the solution for this. Oh, I have the solution already. We don't want that. So let's take another exercise. Okay. So we have two monkeys, A and B, and the parameters A smile and B smile indicate that each of those monkeys are smiling, okay? We are in trouble if they are both smiling or if neither of them is smiling. Okay, so you have here like the declaration of the problem, and I would like somebody to volunteer to write the shortest piece of code to solve this simple algorithm. So I think this was the first hand. Yes, please. This is Java, right? Okay, just a second. Let me mirror the display so that you can actually see. Okay. There you go. Can you just type in here? Yeah? It's typing. And if somebody can find a shorter answer, I mean, he's not done yet. Do you have a question? Or do you have a solution? Okay, let him first try, get his chance at this. And if you find a shorter answer, then you can tell us. I can already see some people saying. Okay. And then, yes. Did we close all the brackets? I think maybe here is a bracket missing. If, the bracket of the if. Did you close it? The bracket of the if. The parenthesis of the if. Okay, let's see. Compile. Oh. So it's not working. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you. Okay. Do you have any other volunteers? Can we get a lady to try, take a chance at this? Yes, please. Let's give him a hand, nevertheless. I mean, it's scary to come up here. Okay. It's okay. Take your time. Yes. 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 Okay, let's take a look at this. Just compile. Okay, it's all correct. Okay, can somebody find shorter? Yes. Yes, another lady. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not biased or anything. I'm just we'll see if she gets shorter, then you can go. If she doesn't get shorter, please give it a try. You can wait here. Thank you. Just a minute or so. Nothing. Thank you very much. Can we give her a mug? Can we try it first? Yeah. Yes. Can you tell us about yourself, who you are? Can you introduce yourself? Do we have a mic? Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Hi, I'm a computer science undergrad student from Lebanon,
Wow.
and so
Go Lebanon.
and I'm really interested in Java and Android and technology and stuff. So it's really a pleasure being here and being invited.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. There you go. Thank you. Okay, so as you can see, this could be a very fun place to test your skills. Thank you. If you have any questions about Google Code, just try first to Google your question. And then if you don't find it, then you can just look me up at the back. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you. And after this, I'm gonna be holding a presentation on the Google Apps for Education, if you're interested. And the parallel session will be about the new social web. Yes.
And open standards. Thank you, Noha.
Thank you.
So as you just mentioned, for those who are interested about open standards and social APIs, Timothy Jordan, who's got the name for the of the country, which is funny, will actually host that session right now. It's going to start in a minute. It's actually a very interesting talk. He's a very good speaker. So if you're keen to hear more about the social web, please go to the breakout room. It's going to be I think it's going to be more technical than actually this session about Google Apps for Education. Sorry for the mic. I think that's it. So take a minute to go to the other room if you're interested. And
Otherwise.
yeah, and that's it. And we'll be back on schedule. We have the next session at 3:45. We're just 5 minutes late, trying to catch up on things. The quiz? I think we have a demo pod, right?
Yes.
Where you can actually take the quiz if you want to, if you don't have a laptop.
If you don't have a laptop, then after the session, I'm going to be there, and then you can take the quiz on my... the results of the quiz. I'm going to share I'm not going to share the results of the quiz. I'm going to share only the winners for now. And then for everybody who took the quiz, I'm going to share the results after GJordan is over. Okay? But at the end of the day, I'm going to announce the winners.
All right, so we're going to start in 30 seconds with know-how again on Google Apps for Education. And at 3:45, know-how I think you'll be free to answer questions at the demo pods.
Yes.
Right? So I'll let you manage Google Apps for Education. And panel session again, social web with Timothy Jordan. Thanks, and know-how.
Thank you. Yes. bit.ly/GJordan quiz, one word. Yes, please. Yeah, of course. The only thing that you cannot do, or you can, but I mean, I would discard the answer, is to take the same quiz several times with different answers. Okay? So just take each quiz once if you want, but I mean, you don't have to take all of them. Just one is enough. Okay, so welcome again. We're going to talk about Google Apps for Education. Anybody familiar with Google Apps for Education? Okay, so let's start. So a little bit of history. So about computing things, about keeping track of things, about dealing with information. This is what happened earlier. So we started very basically with an abacus, and then computers became huge and filled up rooms, and then we have, and then we started having smaller and smaller devices until we reach our laptops, palm tops, mobile phones. So, well, and now it's actually the age of the cloud. So the cloud is actually a place where you just find services. You don't have to worry about which platform they're on. You don't have to worry about the infrastructure. So what are the benefits of having your services or your software on the cloud? I think we've seen that in a previous session. Can anybody point that out? Yes? Sorry? Portability, what else? I mean, can you share more about portability?
You don't have to worry about what browser you're running it on, or operating system, or
Yes, portability is one thing. Any other things? Yes, please.
Having all of your data online, accessing them whenever you want.
Yes, exactly. So now, if I have some work to do at home and some work to do at work, at my workplace or at my university, then and I would like to access the same data, then probably if I have two different computers, I have to replicate the software, replicate the data and everything, and make sure everything stays in synchronization. While if my things are on the cloud, being the software or the data, then it will be easier for me to access it from anywhere. So portability, accessibility, we're going to see a lot of other things more. So this is the computing vision of Google's cloud, so that you have all the fun stuff to play with, like your apps, your different services, and you don't have to worry about how they're managed, how they're synced together, who carries the data, where is it stored, and of course you can access it from either your browser or your phone or whatever will come next. And we will have for you your data, or you can have it. So it depends where you would like to host the data. And of course, authentication protocols and so on. We have to either we carry that for you, or you put it on your own machines. So, are the needs of information remaining the same, or are the things changing with the different technologies that appear? So apparently, we do have an information overload. I don't have the numbers yet, but I think something like the amount of information that exists on the internet now has not only doubled or tripled, you multiply by hundreds the amount of information that exists already online. So the volume of information is increasing exponentially. So the type of sorting, filing, and then searching or finding information doesn't make sense anymore. Because with the increasing amount of information, this is practical. I mean, you can search for days for a piece of information that you're looking for. And with more people working together, collaboration is a very important aspect. So to be able to work with you, so we work on the same thing, so we need to be able to collaborate efficiently. So we have a company, for example, Google, has offices all around the world. Can you imagine if we could not find a place where we can collaborate together, so access the same information real time? Or a business that cannot share its information real time with its clients? And of course, as you mentioned, accessibility. So when you have these needs, there are certain challenges that you face. So basically, messaging challenges. So I would like to deliver a message to you. How do you keep track of this message? How do you file them? How do you make sure that they're up to date or chronologically, or the important one you get first? Which criteria will you use to sort these messages? We have collaboration challenges. So this is how things used to be before, when there was no online document collaboration services or cloud collaboration services. So you'd start with a document, version 1, and then you have 4 people, here in this example, Jesse, Sally, Casey, and Rachel, who would work on it. And then Jesse will create another file out of version 1, call it Jesse Draft, because there are no restrictions, you can call it whatever. Sally creates Sally_01, Casey creates Casey Final, and then all those 3 combined together, somebody has to take care, combine all those 3 documents together to produce version 2. But then you review version 2 and it's still not what you want. So you send it back to people again to modify. So Jesse creates now Jesse Final, Sally creates Sally 0.2, and Casey creates Casey Final Final. You know that from naming your own files, right? And then just about as we're composing the final draft, Rachel sends a Rachel oops. So how do you integrate that? Okay, so the collaboration here is really, really challenging. So if you must have, like, in addition to the 4 people who are collaborating together, someone else who manages the different versions of the files. Not only that, we do have technology challenges. So you will need actually the operating system to carry your software. You will need security servers. Because imagine that you're not only doing this among a small group, imagine that you're a business or even a university. So you'll need to have your own security servers, your email servers, your backup storage servers. If you have a service that works for mobile, then you need your mobile delivery servers, spam filters, and then if you would like to store the data, you need a database, content repositories, and of course, magnetic tape backup. And all of these things need to be maintained and kept up to date, right? So the technology here, I would say, would be not only costly, but a little bit challenging. So universities, for example, are a very good example for this kind of problem, because you have a huge user base, which would be either the faculty members or the students, and they have to collaborate together. They have to use the same services. So you have from one side the complexity of having this and the cost, and from the other side, the increasing need for collaboration, for messaging, for working together, and of course, the expectations. You cannot, I mean, at this era, you cannot expect students to print their homework on paper and bring it for the professor to give them the remarks, and then the professor will bring it back, so the students will see the remarks, and then students will bring it back for another verification. Doesn't make sense, right? With the technology existing. So between those two, there must be a solution. And the solution is focus on the context and just leave the core on the side. So focus on doing your homework. Don't focus on how you're going to print the homework, how you're going to deliver it, how you're going to see the remarks or whatever. Just focus on what you have to do, the context. And here comes Google Apps. We have actually a whole suite for education, be it K-12 education or higher education. So it works the same way. So you have the cloud, you work on the cloud, and then you have some sort of a new technology, for example, HTML5, that collaborates with a web browser and then serves either laptops, notebooks, or mobile devices. What are the apps? And here, pay attention, because I'm going to ask you about them later on. You have Gmail. Anybody never heard about Gmail? Oh, okay, great. No mucks for you guys. You have Gtalk, Groups, Calendar, Docs, Sites, Video, and Postini. Did you hear about Postini? Okay. We're going to talk about that. Video, sites, okay, docs, of course, calendar, groups, and talk. Great. So we're going to go through them later on the website, so I can show you actually what kind of things that you can do with them. So a user could ask themselves, how can I make my students and my staff be more productive, be more efficient? How can I reduce the cost and increase the innovation? And here, if you take a look at this graph, you will find that the blue curve, which is the consumer technology, has always been rising. Why? Because it's a consumer. That means they pay money for their service. So every time they pay more, they get a better service. Okay, there is always a need from the business to bring the service up to standards so that the consumer would use it. While as you would see that for educational technology, it's not like that. So in certain universities in the Middle East, you will find actually computers are not hooked up to the internet until our day today. I don't know how it is in Jordan. Maybe somebody can give me a background. But are all universities in Jordan connected? Can every student have access to the internet? Okay, that's great. Now, does every student have access to the tools that they need in order to reach the content, know information about their courses, train for their exams, post their homeworks, do all this? Yes? So you don't need Google Apps. But there's always more. There's always more. And actually, we're going to take a look at why it would make sense to have Google Apps. So what we're having is always frequent and small updates. So almost every couple of weeks, we have a new release cycle. That means we release updates, new features. And of course, it's easier for users to adjust because once you log on, for example, to Google Docs, you get a nice box saying, oh, we launched this new feature. Do you want to try it? Here's how it works. And if you can see through this timeline, in 2008, for example, we had 68 releases. In 2009, we had 116. In 2010, I cannot tell you. I think it's even more than double or triple this number. So every year, the kind of updates that we perform on our products increase. And of course, we learn from you as our users. So you give us your feedback, or if you found a bug, you let us know about it. So instead, in addition to that, we also do like focus groups. We do research into what students want, what professors want, what businesses want in order to make their own collaboration more efficient. And of course, we make an analysis of your usage to the product. So if we launch a new feature and nobody uses it, then probably the person who rolled this feature out didn't pay attention to what the user needs. Or if we launch a feature and everybody uses it, then probably we need more of those. So we try actually to do that for you so that you don't have to complain about problems with your system. And of course, for you, it's always easy to manage. So you don't have any server or client upgrades. You don't need to do data migration. And a very important concept for Google is actually data liberation. Do you understand? Do you know what we mean by data liberation? Yes? And it's not only what version of the software, it's actually if you say, okay, I've had it with Google Calendar or I've had it with Google Contacts and I just want to move somewhere else, which I hope you're not saying. But we can actually give you your data, allow you to export your data into various well-known formats that you can actually take them either in CSV format or whatever format that belongs to this kind of application, and you can import it into another application, another service or another software. So this is actually a very important concept for Google, data liberation, to give you dominion over your own data. It's not like they're in Google formats and they have to stay there, or you have to do the work manually. And of course, everybody gets the latest update, the latest release. So you don't have to say, okay, I opt in for this release, or your professor does opt in and you don't, or the other way around. So if there is a feature rolled out, everybody gets it. So we're always synced. So the big question is it reliable enough? Well, this is a nice graph about the uptime, the downtime actually, of different services in minutes per month. So as you can see here, Gmail has, I would say, something around 20 minutes of downtime. Blue means unplanned, that means just the service fails. Or planned, that means we do maintenance. So we stop the service, we upgrade our servers, or we roll out a new thing, and then we put it up again. So as you can see, there are no planned downtime for Gmail, for example. And for other products, you can see how much time they have to take their servers down, and then you get a page saying, sorry, we're currently maintaining, the service will be unavailable from this time to this time. Okay? So if you have, use Google's apps, you don't have to face this. The service is not working, at least not intentionally. And of course, you have to take this into consideration. If you are hosting your own service on your own computers, let's say at your university, then definitely be sure that if you're using the cloud, especially Google Apps, then we have a better uptime. That means our services are up and running more and more efficiently than if you were having those services on your own machines, on premises. So which one is safer? So you have to know that Google Apps is more secure. It's as secure as Google is, because we use the same technology for ourselves that we use for the apps. So you have 24/7 security team. We have some of the world's foremost experts, be it from academia or from businesses. And of course, we have a centralized process that makes sure that everything goes smoothly and there are no leakages. And we use, of course, the technology that we use at Google. So as Chris was saying earlier, that we use the same technology as you're using at home, so you don't need to worry about the security of the service itself. So the Google Apps for Education edition has the same thing. So the infrastructure has 99.9 uptime service according to our SLA, our service level agreement with our users. And you have 24/7 support, phone support. So if there's something really not going well, you can just complain about it. And we actually carry the pagers so that you have a smooth service. In the Apps edition for Education, there are no ads for students, staff, or full-time volunteers. Each has a 7 GB of storage per user inbox, and they're increasing. And of course, we have integration APIs for your authentication system, for your user directory, for your mail gateway, migration and reporting. So anything that you already had before, we have migration APIs for that, integration APIs for that. And the Google Apps for Education suite is actually free of charge for any accredited educational institution and for any US registered nonprofit. So who's gone Google? Actually, there are quite a bunch of big names who have switched to Google Apps for Education. And I think recently we had 2 universities also in Egypt move organically without us going and telling them you have to use or you may use Google Apps. So do you know of any universities in Jordan who are gone Google as well? University of Jordan, is that true? Yes? No? They are in the process? Yes?
New York Institute for Technology.
New York
In
Institute
Jordan,
in
yeah.
Jordan.
They have a branch here in Jordan.
They have launched Google Apps.
Yep.
Great. And how about University of Jordan? Yes? Yes? Okay, so let me show you a nice video on Brown University, or gone Google as well. Can we get the sound, please?
Google is paying attention to universities, that they have a very
Sorry.
have a very large commitment to going out and helping universities be successful.
The students let us down this Google path.
I've been pushing for switch to the Gmail since my freshman year, and I was so glad to see it actually happen.
We had a lot of faculty now saying, gee, our students are using Gmail. They're also using Google Docs. They're using the collaboration tools, and we want to too. Can we go?
I really sense an
Okay.
excitement building on the campus about getting onto the Google Apps.
Google has been working very hard to make this transformation happen.
Google is responsive when we say, this would make sense for universities, and people actually listen, and you see things happen at a much more rapid scale.
What's wrong?
And people actually listen, and you see things happen at a much more rapid scale.
We chose Google Apps primarily because of functionality. The docs, the sites, the chat.
You know, you can't neglect the fact that we signed a $0 contract. It's awfully nice to be able to save money and still provide excellent, functionality and excellent IT service.
Sharing documents, calendaring is important for me. Conversations are important to me. Labels are important to me. I pretty much run the gamut.
We were looking for something that would provide us a good value for our investment, but also something that would bring everybody together on a common set of tools.
I've used Google Docs a lot because a lot of times when I'm working on projects with other people, it's easier than sending an attachment and then editing it and sending it back.
Google Docs means I can do my papers anywhere I want to without carrying around a thumb drive.
We run around a lot to meetings, and to have a video chat session and be able to actually sit at your desk and participate in the meeting, we think that's going to be used a lot.
The Labs feature adds a real fun element to the product set.
Some of the tools just work better once you make that switch over.
I've been using Gmail for a while now, and it's just a way of life.
I bought in. I'm all Google all the time right now.
We were thinking about what it would take to get our students onto a platform that they would be able to do some innovative things.
Once people use it and see it and then start seeing some of the fun stuff, they get won over pretty quickly.
Seamless integration, one client all across the universe. We looking good.
I think it's just
I've used my computer more.
The speed of innovation from Google is something that we could not possibly match on our own.
It's a lot of
to me. Those collaboration tools are the pieces that we're going to find faculty using. Once we're all in the same domain, it's going to be a huge win.
We believe that Google Apps was a way that we could connect our faculty with our students, one of the other key things that distinguishes Brown, and perhaps make a bigger difference around the world and on campus.
I have 4 years to go at Brown, and they'll hopefully be full of productivity thanks to Gmail.
Great. So, if you decide to go with Google Apps for your university, then we would like also to hear from you whether this experience, it doesn't cost anything, just some time to use the migration, and then just start using them and giving us feedback on how it is, how it's working for you. Is it really boosting your productivity? Is it really making it easier for you to have your meetings as staff or do your collaboration with your students? So if it's so, and if you really are very impressed, we can also do a success story with your university. and like have a nice video to also share with other people from the Middle East what it is like to have a more efficient collaboration. So let me take you, do you have questions? I was seeing some hands. Yes, please.
Could you please
So the question is, can you please tell us how to adopt Google Apps? Yes, it's very simple. Let us actually go to the website. Where is it? Yes. There it is. So this is the website of Google Apps for Higher Education. What's wrong? Okay. Okay. So here's a very simple link that says get apps for your school. And you go through this, and then you face some requirements in order to be able to proceed. That means you need to be able to manage the domain of your school so that you can give us access to give you email at, I don't know, at Jordan University or GO or PSUT. So in order for us to give you email addresses at your university's domain, you have to be able to manage this domain. And of course, you need to have a small understanding of Google APIs. And probably the most suited person to do this is like the IT manager of the university. They can apply for this. And it's actually very easy. I mean, you just sign up, you just give your specifications, and then it doesn't take a lot of time. And then you're set up for your university. It's very easy. And on this page, which is the Google Apps for Education, if you just Google Apps for Education, you will get to this page. It's the first one. You will have a huge resource center to answer your questions, to give you tutorials about each and every one of the different products that are included in the Google Apps suite. So I urge you, I mean students or professors, just go and take a look and see whether you really are in need of this kind of upgrades into the cloud, and just apply. And if you really have a good experience with it, just let us know, and we will come to your university, and then we collect feedback. Okay? Do you have any further questions?
All
Okay,
right.
so I just need to have one last question. So who can list 6 of the 8 apps in the Google Apps for Education suite? Oh, can we get a professor to do this? Are you a faculty member? Yes? Okay.
Gmail
Yes.
is as email provider.
Yes.
Video.
Video.
Calendar.
Calendar.
Groups, yes, groups.
Groups. ما تغششوهوش.
Null. I know this before.
Null?
The knowledge, yeah, is also.
No, null is not part of the Google suite.
Science, okay. Sites.
Sites.
Yeah, and the last one I didn't remember it.
There are 8, so there are still 3.
Talk, yeah,
Google Talk. Yes,
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Can you get a mug? Can somebody mention the other missing 2 and also get a mug? Yes, please. Postini? Yes.
Postini, and he said Google Talk, right? Google
Yes.
Talk, Google Groups,
Yes.
the docs, the calendars. He said the docs.
Yes.
No, he didn't say docs.
Sites. You didn't say docs?
No.
Okay.
There's docs and.
Then
there's-
docs, which is very important.
Yes.
Can you give him a mug as well? Okay. Thank you very much for listening in. I'm going to be having 2 sessions at the end of the day. one dedicated for Google opportunities for faculty members, so what kind of programs we have for faculty members, and one dedicated for students, what kind of programs we offer for students. Okay, so if you want to listen in, Sebastian will be announcing that throughout the day.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Noha.